Man, what is going on? We are back in black in the building. Shout out to everybody out there at the Core Plantation, handling business, doing what they need to do to survive. Shout out to all my family, siblings in Las Vegas, Nevada. Shout out to the homegirl, Shawnee, Philly in the building. The homegirl, Erica, Florida, a.k.a. Florida in the building. Shout out to my brother, Dave from No Compromise. George in the building. Shout out to my brother James Youngblood, Texas is definitely in the building. And shout out to the homegirl Melina all the way in North Carolina, aka North Kakalaka. Mass deportation begins. Let's get it. Man. Man. All I gotta say is, man, y'all better leave Trump alone. And y'all, FBA, stay out of it. What do your parents tell you when you in grown folks' business? Grown folks is talking. Stay out of it. Grown folks is talking, so stay out of it. Right now, you don't have a dog in this fight. I'm seeing too many people on social media, and I'm seeing too many people talking about, man, holding the flag. I want you to hold that flag for any other racial group and ask them if they feel like foundational Black Americans should get reparations. And let's see if they're on your side. Because we've been talking about reparations for a very long time. I'm talking about main stage, probably about 4 or 5 years. Hard. Everybody, reparations. This was old. I know ever since I read Dr. Claude Anderson's Black Labor, White Wealth and Powernomics, I've really been on it since then. And I read Dr. Claude Anderson's, I read 3 out of his library pack. Black History Reader, Black Labor, White Wealth, and Powernomics, and I read those all in 2015 or 2016. So, and it is 2025. So, I've been on the reparations thing. And how many times have I told y'all how about when we go to the corporate plantation and how we get treated by other racial groups? It's awful. It's awful. They're not nice. They get a kick out of watching foundational Black Americans fight and argue at the job. They play the social hierarchy of need games all the damn time. So with that being said, now that we have the equal opportunity power dynamic in the White House, the equal opportunity racist that's in the White House, that's like, you know what? I don't really mess with nobody. Now everybody's like, well, where's the Black community at? We've had your back and all. You're not going to shame me or make me feel guilty because ain't nobody speaking up on your behalf. I'm not speaking up on nobody's behalf. You know why? Because ain't nobody speaking up on mine. You're like, what do you mean yours? I mean foundational Black Americans. I mean the freedmen, the descendants of slaves who built this country for free without repayment. So no, I'm not going to be marching, whining, repeating, protesting. I'm not going to be doing any of that. I'm going to sit back, relax, get my popcorn, and enjoy the show. Because when we're the welcome mat, when we are the welcome mat, everybody just walks all over us and acts like we don't, and not only act like we don't exist, they play the benign neglect with the dominant society. Now that the dominant society has showed you, oh, well, we don't really deal with you either. See, but y'all over there like, oh, but we was all making fun of the Black people. Now the dominant society is like, yeah, well, they kind of built the country and we kind of need them. We don't really need the rest of all you other people that's over here illegally. So good luck. I don't feel bad at all. I have way too many things to be paying attention to, and that is making sure the racial group that gets the most constructive help receives the most constructive help. That would be foundational Black Americans. Go read Neely Fuller Jr.'s book, The United Independent Compensatory Counter-Racist Code of Ethics. Go read that book. The revised version came out in 2016. That's when I bought it. The first book came out in 1985 or 87, if I'm not mistaken. It's time for us, no more wall effect. Get around foundational Black Americans. If it is not constructive behavior, do not participate in it. Do not get into debating and arguing people down about our history or what's going on. People are playing dumb and have selective amnesia or memory. All of a sudden, every other racial group can turn racism on and off. Like, oh, well, like, and then I noticed on the internet and social media, and even when I listen to Tariq Nasheed's podcast, they want us to claim the diaspora of Africa. They don't want us to claim the United States of America. Why do you think that is all of a sudden? Let's think about it. If we claim Africa and not claim the United States of America that we built for free without repayment, we don't receive reparations. Because then they're going to tell you, oh, well, you need to go to Africa and get it from there. No, sorry, sir. We built this country for free without repayment. Sorry. And I'll just say this. I got a lot of love for a lot of Latino people that I've met over the years. They've showed me love. I've showed them love. But these Latinos that I've been cool with, they will call out their fellow Latino community. I've been around Latinos where they like, man, motherfucking Mexicans, they racist, bro. I've been around Latinos like that where they like, yeah, man, my parents told me I couldn't date a black chick, I couldn't hang around with black people. And I've had a lot of Latino people in my lifetime break that down and kind of tell what's being said when we're not in the room. And I remember a long time ago, this is a long time ago, I was in middle school. And I hate talking about it because we lived in Baldwin Park and I fucking hated Baldwin Park. I never was a fan of Baldwin Park. I hated it. I don't think my older siblings liked it either. They just kind of went along with it. You know how it is when your people just move you. Like, hey man, we moving, and you kind of like, all right, it is what it is. And I remember this Latino girl was like, oh, I really like you. I told the story before. I really like you, but my parents said I can't date black guys. Like, we were the permanent underclass then. Dr. Klein Edison wasn't lying. They love to treat us like we're the permanent underclass. Then I remember this Latino chick that I worked with at the Core Plantation. She had 2 black children by 2 different black men, but her dad was frowning upon the black men. No, you need to be frowning upon your daughter, not us. And I was like, I said, you don't find that interesting that your dad don't like black dudes, but you got kids by black dudes? Like, you don't see like how that's going to be a problem for your kids in the future? And she just kind of had this smirk on her face. And that's when I was just like, hey, y'all got to know who y'all laying up with in these other racial groups. Make sure whoever y'all around, they solid, not salad. Straight up. Because they have no problem looking down on black folk and calling us ghetto and this. And then when you start bringing up history, which a lot of other racial groups don't know their own history, oh, they get so offended. Because I'm quick to be like, have you ever read this book called Slavery by Another Name by Douglas Blackman? And I'm like, oh yeah, and by the way, it's a dominant society person that wrote that book. He talks about how we built the railroads, how we built the country. He talked about the prison industrial complex and how they were just rounding up foundational black Americans and saying that they stole and they did this and making them work on slave plantations for free. And then when you get into that, it's like, oh, well, slavery was so long ago. And my question is always this: why is it when it comes to us and talking about what has been done to us, it was so long ago, but when we talk about our dominant society, white Jewish brothers and sisters, y'all never let us forget? See, this is what I love about the white dominant Jewish community. They don't play that bullshit, and they stick together and they get on code. And that's what I admire and I respect about our dominant society Jewish community brothers and sisters. I got love for them. I got respect for them. I study them. I like how they move. I like how they recycle their money. Because what happens is when you're talking about racism and white supremacy, what dominant society people like to do is say, hey, man, it ain't white people. It's the Jews. Stop. It's white supremacy. And y'all all know how to get on code when it comes to the dominant society. When it comes to the dominant society getting on code with black folk, they get on code in a minute. And all the rest of you racial groups do the same. Because why is it on these jury pools, y'all quick to send a black man to prison with no problem? And the court system, the justice system is a joke. I tried to get on, I wanted to be a juror on this trial with this brother. He was FBA brother. And They had nothing but immigrants on the damn jury pool. I'm going to repeat it again. In Las Vegas, Nevada, I was asked to do jury duty. So when I did it and went down there, a lot of Americans was like, oh, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I can't be here. And then nothing but immigrants. Couldn't even speak English. Had to speak in Spanish. Some people had to speak in their different dialect. And they're on the jury pool. What are they doing as a juror, period? And you're not from here. There should be all kinds of guidelines like that. The guidelines should be, if you don't speak clear English, that means you can't understand clear English, which means you are eliminated from the juror pool. You shouldn't even be on the jury pool at all. That's how much of a joke the justice system is. It's just us. So now that, you see all these people marching, whining, repeating, protesting, let them go ahead and protest. The Trumpster and everybody around is going to do exactly what he wants them to do. Round them all up. And I don't feel bad. You know why I don't feel bad? Because you broke the law. You came here illegally. And if you came here illegally and then you had a baby, that's an anchor baby, which means you did that on purpose so you can seek asylum and stay here and collect benefits that you didn't earn. And see, when you start talking about immigrants, everybody wants to say it's just the Latino community. No, I don't care if you're from Cameroon, West Africa, East Africa, South Africa. I don't care where you are. If you're here illegally, you don't belong here and you're committing a crime and you should be deported. And I don't feel bad for nobody. Sorry, I don't. We have to wake up and understand what's going on. I'm going to say it one more time. Don't get into no petty arguments back and forth with people. They're just time-wasting motherfuckers. They're just wasting time. They just want to see what you know and what you don't know. Don't talk about it at work. When they be like, oh, can you believe what's happening? All be like, I have no idea. I don't pay attention to that. I'm just worried about my job. When they talk about the DEI, I'd be like, oh, I don't. First of all, let me tell y'all something. DEI is not helping foundational Black Americans. DEI is helping everyone else but us. It's another benign neglect policy. That's all it is. Just repackaged, reformed. Oh, DEI is going to get everybody in. Yeah, it's going to help everybody but foundational Black Americans. That's why when you look at the corporate plantation jobs, do you see any foundational Black Americans in charge? Do you see any VPs and directors that are foundationally Black? And they can trace their roots back to the 1866 census? No. Because that's done by design. No, they'll put somebody in that's an immigrant that's Black like you, but they don't even think like you. So get on code with your people. Recycle your dollars with your people. People have bad business practices. Just find another Black business. Don't go on and on and on about how terrible the Black business is. We got to stop a lot of that. Start supporting, recycling these Black dollars, and understand getting on code is priority, and not fighting everybody else's battle is priority. Don't fight everybody else's battle. Just fight your own. Foundational Black Americans, we have way too much going on for us, and we are moving forward in the right direction. And we don't have time to be fighting everybody's battles, because don't nobody fight ours. It's so funny how people want to try to make Black folk feel bad because we not out here marching, whining, and repeating and doing all this this goofy ass bullshit, right? And then when you be like, hey, well, look at what has been done to us and the atrocities that have taken place to us, and ain't nobody speaking up for us. Oh, well, then it's, well, what are you guys going to do with the money? And why do you guys get, I'm from such and such. And my parents came here in 1965, and I worked hard. That has nothing to do with what has been done to us on this landmass for 400 years. So I don't want to hear it. Go do the research. Dave from No Compromise, go listen to him. Go listen to James Youngblood, the mic drop. Go listen to these people. Erica, no, we've been talking about this forever. They always want us to be on the front line, but we don't never get no repayment for being on the front line. So no, I'm not going hard for nobody. I'm going to sit back, relax, and enjoy being a United States of America citizen. And I'm going to enjoy being a foundational Black American. I'm not going to get all up in arms because they're deporting people. If you're illegally, you shouldn't be here. That should have been done eons ago. But remember, they are the masters of confusion. So they'll create the problem and come in as the savior. So I don't put nothing past anyone. and I'll say this one more time. Why is it the Latino community and all the other communities, the African communities, why is it they are not harassing other racial groups, but why are they pointing towards black folk? Because black folk are always holding up the bloodstained banner for everyone else but ourselves. I'm done. Guilty. Peace.